afternoon. My name is Scott Rudd, the Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to the first recap of 2017 and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人张叔，在纽约向您问好。周二美股收高，而今天也是2017年的第一个交易日，相信这样子的一个开门红，对于整年的一个基调来说，也是起了一个不错的积极的作用。但是其实今天收场是有一些令人惊讶的，为什么这么说呢？因为在上周五市场是连续3天下降，而这也是自11月9号大选以来之后的首次连跌3日。所以说总体来说，那样子的一个连跌3日，无疑会影响着市场的整体的情绪，并且我在纽交所的时候有和交易员聊到的是，他们提到当前他们所收到的一个订单的一个指令全都是卖出的指令，而 UBS 的来自纽交所的一个交易大厅主管也表示，这些订单加在一块的总价值已经高达12亿美元。所以说今天这样子的一个上涨到底是一个获利的回吐，还是说是一个更大的上涨之前的前奏呢？我们还是非常值得的去继续的关注。而另外一方面，今天在宏观经济上是有非常不错的数字，其中包括了采购经理人指数是达到了54.3，而最新的 ISM 制造业指数也是达到了54.7，创下了21个月以来的新高。而其中的建筑业的支出更是创下了近10年来的一个高值，非常不错的数字。这也是意味着当前的一个建筑业依然是在温和扩张当中。所以说，受利于这一系列利好的因素，今天股市上涨。但是就像我刚才所说的那样，到底这是一个获利的回吐，还是说更大的上涨前的前奏？让我们来听一下今天的交易员访谈。Hi Scott, US stocks traded higher today, and actually it was a little bit surprising because last Friday the US stocks continued for like 3 consecutive days, like trading down. But today we have a good opening. But at the same time, part of it is because of oil. But at the same time, oil reversed its gains in the middle of the trading day. So how do you think about that?
We did have a 3-day sell-off into the end of 2016.
Yes.
But if you remember, a lot of people were talking about imbalances, meaning that too many people were overweight stocks and underweight bonds, so they had to come in the middle. So you saw some selling pressure in stocks and some buying in the TLTs and bonds, and we ended the year. So when you start a new year, you never know, are new funds going to come in? Okay, because you have new funds that happen, and mutual funds, pension plans, they all get their 2017 allocations. If they feel like they have to get in early or start, they get involved. If they feel like they could wait for weakness to continue, they wait. So for today, I think the bulls won by a little bit. Let me just show you what I'm talking about in the S&P. If you go to the S&P, I've been showing you how to play these trends, and this descending trend line right here was a very, very good entry for a swing long. Okay, from there you had digestion above it, and then you had a continuation trade here. So now the question is, can that happen again from a higher level? So at this point, I would say you have a point of reference from December to trade again. So 223.33 is your support. And at some point, not sure how long it's going to take, maybe it gets above this descending trend line, then all those big wirehouse expectations of 2,300 above can happen. But for right now, we held in there. I am long a little bit still from today, and I think that with some time, we'll get a little bit more clarity. And like you mentioned, oil was one of the reasons for the sell-off. Very big sell-off, very big wide range bar. Once it did not close this area right here, I talk about leave when momentum leaves. Once it got below this 1184 area, I would have been a sell. And now we'll figure out if today's low holds tomorrow or if it needs to see some more downside action.
Okay, and after the election, bank sector has been one of the strongest sector, and today it's a little bit tricky because at the first time it started off the trading day and trading higher, but then I think the gain just get narrowed. So how do you think about that?
It was frustrating. I was long Goldman Sachs for a lot of the morning, and then it failed. So I got out of it, but it didn't fall apart. So the question is, is there real selling or does it just need time? So if you look at Goldman Sachs and the banks, because Goldman Sachs has been a good barometer, still hanging in there. Okay, yes. Did I think it was going to break above this resistance today and help take the Dow to 20,000? Didn't happen. But it also is still in the range, holding above the 21-day moving average. So, better to be long versus support than add on strength as of now. But at some point, if it gets above this 245-ish and stays above it, maybe it helps lead the banks. At this point, the banks are still strong. They just probably have some tax. Anyone who didn't want to sell it because they don't want to pay taxes this year, they could sell it now, lock in these gains. But if that selling continues and it doesn't go down, that'll show you it's strong enough to continue to the upside. But for right now, I just wouldn't overdo it there. Make sure it holds this 235 to keep the current strength.
IBB has been the focus of the day, and do you think today's the moves in IBB created some opportunities in the future?
Well, so far for the day it did. The question is, does it continue? And maybe it does, because it's been a battered and bruised sector. So sometimes those sectors that had a lot of tax loss selling come to life because the selling doesn't happen anymore. So they lift. So today for the IBB, I am long a little bit because it's still a broken sector for now. But you did have a maybe wake-up call here. It did get above a prior high right there. Hasn't done that in a while. So now maybe there's some room to here. So I did get along a little IBB, but it really has to take this out with authority. You want to look at some quick stocks. Celgene, something that I think could be something to watch as a leadership. Held the 50-day moving average. Woke up today. At some point, if this were to get above this spot, maybe it helps lead some other bios. Some others had a day one. So maybe this is a spot for alpha. Watch Celgene and watch the IBBs.
就像斯沃所说的，虽然当前的市场情绪是一样的，但是每一只股票的走势却是不同的。希望您继续关注我们的节目，我们明天再见。